Yeah, we've got about 20 seconds before we go live. Welcome to In the Know with Steph and Joe. This show is all about small business development. It's your baby. You want this thing to thrive, and, well, I don't know why you're turning into this show. Anyway, this show brought to you through the financial support of our good friends over at Restoration One and Steph's Books. Of course, Epic Media as well. Check them out if you need some social media. Give them a jingle at www.epicmediainc.com. Look at that. And we have a caller live right now. Today, how do you like your pizza? Obviously, with sausage. No, building relationships. Sorry, that's what we're talking about today.
The other I wanted to talk about pizzas.
We're just also trying to figure out how many people we can fit in the radio
literally
station
in the studio
in one show.
We're really trying to cram them in for one show. I threw this idea to Steph. I said, we got to do a show, and I want to do it on building relationships. And I got this group of guys here that we have gone and done some fun things together. Once or twice. And so, but I'll let you. I want everybody to run around, introduce yourself, where you work, and all that, and then we'll kind of get into
in the circle.
All right, we'll just start with Mike and then work our way around.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Well, thanks for having me. Mike Campbell with Cross Country Mortgage out of Crystal Lake. I help people with the financing of purchasing a new home or refinancing their current home. So I'm the numbers guy.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. Rocco Martinelli Financial Services, Country Financial Wakanda. I practice holistic planning, whether that be from simple insurance planning all the way up to investment planning, 401k help, all that type of stuff.
Another numbers guy.
Thanks for having me again on the show. Appreciate it, Joe.
Yep.
Brian Malati, Keller Williams Success Realty out of Barrington. Help homeowners buy or sell. And just remember, whether you sell or buy, hey, I'm your guy.
Thanks for having me. I am Jeff Bryant with Church Insurance Agency out of Woodstock, and I help provide as much education as possible on everybody's insurance needs. So thanks again, guys.
Love that. Steph, you want to give your introduction?
Steph with Steph's Bookkeeping. I feel like everybody knows me already on the 21.6 in it. You could, any bookkeeping needs, Steph at stephsbooks.com.
All right. Joe Turner, Restoration One. Water, fire, smoke, meat, mold, any of your dirty, disgusting cleanup needs that are necessary. Poop. Yep, poopy and caca.
And bodies.
So I invited you guys.
Yet?
Did you Jess?
Okay.
You got Jess down. Okay.
All right. Do we want to take it from a topic and stuff? You were stuck back there.
Okay, my bad.
We're trying to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah, I was just,
You might as well just leave. Let us take over.
I pay attention.
Yeah.
I invited these guys because I have we all met through business, and what people will probably hear through this show today is that we are all good friends, and we get along very well. But we all met through business. We started networking together first and foremost, and started talking business and exchanging business. So you guys, I want you all to just pipe up and not look at me talk.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, that happens a lot, though.
Yeah.
I tell some good stories.
You do tend to talk a lot.
Okay, here, I'll start it off with a question then. So I kind of just joined this band of misfits recently in a networking group. Okay.
Yeah.
Best way to
And
put
so I feel like what drew me to your guys' group, and there's also several other businesses in our networking group, is that everybody had, I guess, similar personality traits. Everybody has that same passion and drive for their business, but not only supporting and having that same drive for everybody else's business that isn't part of the networking group. So as you guys have, I'm sure, been in business for longer than 5 days. So how have you been
Six
selective
days. 6
in
days
the
from now.
networking groups that you dedicate your time to pull away from your day-to-day?
Good questions.
Very loaded too.
Yeah, loaded. There's
Like
a
a
lot
baked
of
potato.
moving parts there.
Can I get
tends
that
to
written
do that
down, please? Because I
sometimes.
can't remember. Right?
We get down to the dirty deets here.
That's good. That's good.
No.
I think because the show is based on building relationships and trying to discuss how we navigate through those and figure out what's the right fit, because not every fit is the right fit. It starts off with know, like, and trust. I say this all the time. So first, you got to get to know somebody. You got to hopefully like the person. If you don't, are you going to do business with them? And then trust the person ultimately. So the day-to-day, I've tried to take as much day-to-day stuff out of my plate and give it to my team and only concentrate on building relationships within these networking groups, because I've seen the impact like for the last 3-4 years. So I think it's super important that we focus on that and put the people behind us to support us.
It almost makes your business so much more fun too. Like when you're going out and your sole purpose is to, and I tell this to all my business partners I work with, like, I'm an extension of your business now. I'm selling your business. It's easy when it's a friend, when it's somebody you can trust. Like I think there's a curve when it comes to, you know, the networking process, the know, like, and trust, right? Get to know somebody, figure out what their business is, and if it's really what you want to promote behind it. And then you get to that trust point, and now you're at the point where you're just willing to dump a client in their lap and not even just call this person. There's nothing else you have to worry about. If you trust me, you don't even have to worry about it. Just walk through the door and you're done.
Right. You don't have to panic. Like, I'm giving this client to somebody, you know, that's your biggest worry is just somebody I can trust. And I'll go off of what Mike said, know, like, and trust. You know, I'm glad you said that, because dumping that client off onto somebody, you know, you can trust that person that's going to take care of that person. And that's all we want in our business, because then that's your name on that person.
It's not even a dump; it's a handoff, right?
Correct.
You can literally hand that client, that baby, off to the next person.
Hey, Tim with Santos
What's up,
Health
Tim?
Markets.
Santos, hey, Tim.
Tim, the Health Markets has also recently joined
our
our Band of
group.
Misfits.
Yeah.
And
new member.
but yeah, I feel.
And speaking about our networking group, like I said, we're like a big family, you know, and that's the way we look at it, you know, and I think that's what attracts everybody to our group is, you know, we want to take care of everybody's business and help everybody grow.
Come from a place of giving.
Yes.
Don't think about taking.
Right.
Give, and then you shall receive.
Well, and we call it a networking group, but I've never once felt like at any of our meetings I ever feel like I'm going to work. I always feel like I'm going to hang out with a bunch of buddies for an hour and a half. I mean, we've traveled together, we've gone out together, we've done a lot of things. Like our families have all come together. It's just a bunch of friends that get together to throw ideas past each other and help each other out at this point.
And how many times have we gotten business while on vacation? Like, or traded information of what's coming? You're keeping each other top of mind nonstop.
Right. What's one thing you said to me is I'm hanging out with you guys more than I've hung out with friends I've known my whole life.
That for years.
Yeah, because we're business oriented, and those friends for years and years they're always going to be my friends.
Yep.
It's hard to explain, because if they had as much time, they did the same things. Maybe they're
they would be,
either ComEd, or if they're doing construction jobs and they have different schedules. We have businesses that we run ourselves. We run our own schedules, which is nice. But we get to grow our teams as we see fit, and we get to make the relationships that are beneficial.
And it's easy to mix business and pleasure at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, and I think for all of us, we all see the caliber that we each hold, you know, and you don't want to go and hang out with somebody that's, you know, a lower caliber who's going to drag you down, quote unquote, if you will, right? Like we're all holding ourselves to a higher caliber.
And that's what somebody told me one time is, if you want to grow your business, hang out with people with like mind, you know, that you are, you know, ambitious and want to grow,
right.
You know, and people want to send people up into an attic in a 98-degree day, to help get the deal done.
People
You say, hey,
People can do
because
that.
it's you, buddy, I'll do it for you. But that's what it is.
I think we do also have a relative unique situation, because I feel like if you guys have done a lot of other networking outside, like this situation isn't normal.
No.
That's
we're
that's
not
exactly
normal.
what that's the reason that I wanted to get you guys in here, is because we've done things above and beyond any normal group of people that do networking together, right? We have gone on, Kent, you actually go on a trip with some guy friends that are your friends, buddies from way back, right?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, so they're all close friends, right?
See what Jess says?
So, we trust and value too, Jess.
Cheers, Jess. Cheers, Jess.
So
Yeah, and just so you know, we did put you in at the beginning, but Stephanie
Steph just wasn't paying attention.
Stephanie wasn't paying attention.
We all got together and we went out and had a great time. And most people do that same trip that we did, but with their close friends that they've been with.
Absolutely.
We are so value each other so much that we were like, let's do this, let's go.
Yeah.
And we did it, and we've done it more than once.
Well, this brings up a thing I think about all the time with what's that?
What did it say? Like-minded people. I haven't met Steph and
Oh.
Well, Eric, you
should be, Eric.
to one of our meetings on Wednesday night. I've invited you,
Yeah, come on, Eric. You should
and
come
I'll
down.
even get a White Claw for you so you can come, because clearly, that's your beverage of choice.
Let's think about networking groups and how people think they started. It's let's meet at a coffee shop. Let's talk to each other. Let's get to know each other. And we leave. We never talk to each other for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or never again.
Right.
The dynamic of our networking groups is accountability. Like, we are accountable to not worry about what we get, but to what we can give. So when we can give, it's just by second nature, you're going to receive. But again, if you come from that place of trying to help other people within your group or your clients, whoever it is, you're going to see a lot of growth, and it's easy.
Right.
So you
Super
agree
easy.
with Eddie with the holding people accountable. I agree with that.
Yep,
Holding
absolutely.
people accountable. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
And real quick, hello, Singapore. Thank you for not calling me collect on my cell phone.
That's Gary. He's
I
a
remember
long-time
that.
listener
Yeah,
of 21/6 the
He
Net.
said he was going to call me collect on my cell phone last time. Thank you for not doing that, buddy.
So I think the other thing too is, like, when you do network and you do find like-minded people, like from a business standpoint, and you also have a personal connection, it goes beyond like just your buddies that you met because of the personal connection, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have even more intertwined feelings and it benefits the relationship even more. So then you find yourself like spending a lot more time with those people than you have with friends that you've known for 30 years.
Going to your buddy's
Hi,
house.
Marie.
Going to your buddy's house that owns a house on a lake with a pontoon
Yeah.
boat, and
Yeah.
beam out, and taking your kids and having everybody up there.
Yeah.
Or just having a random day where we're texting each other in our group and go, you guys want to go up and watch the football games at somebody's house? And we do that, and we have one of the greatest days.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That was a blast,
in
guys.
a little while. Like,
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
It's wonderful that there's a huge love fest right here. Right?
We can all
Um,
talk if you
So,
want.
But- No, but
You can join us too, because I
Right?
feel like you feel left out.
no. But the question is, you started from zero at some point. How do you build that know, like, and trust, right? Because you're looking at, let's just say you're looking at Joe going, I don't know.
A lot of people do
That's
that.
the first thought I
Okay,
had.
Eric,
Yeah.
A lot of people
Joe
do
was the
that.
one that lent me the chainsaw, not you. So clearly, you were not the friend in that whole situation.
Right.
But like, so when I kind of came into their group, I was the outsider of the group. I only knew maybe 3 people
Yeah.
in their networking group, and overall, I was very welcomed by everybody, and everybody was willing to give me an opportunity to show my skill set. But I've also been in networking groups before where we're not professionally compatible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so you, as a business owner, need to recognize that when you walk into a room of individuals and the dynamic and the thing, it's not just about passing business every day back and forth to each
Mhm.
other. It's about going to that next level of really getting to know all of these
You
people
have
in this
to,
room
Right.
and making sure that, you know, I take care of my clients one way and that every single other person is going to take care of my client the same way.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm not going to give any representation to the group that we all met in, but I feel like that initial structure we have to be appreciative of it, because without that initial structure, this would have probably never happened.
Right.
Agreed.
The force to be meeting and the force to be asking questions and the request of the group for us to be out there meeting each other individually and talking and asking questions, and then, you know, obviously going off
Which
on
is
the
what
tangents.
he just asked. He said from ground zero.
Yeah.
How do you
That's
start?
really what it was.
How do you start building that relationship?
That weekly meeting you had to attend a weekly meeting every single week. We were all there. And through that, we all, you know, we're all great business owners. So we all are punctual. We show up on time a little early. If you're a little early, you're chatting with people. If we're all chatting with people a little early, we're, you know, getting to know each other a little bit more. And then it's like, oh, hey, you guys going to grab a drink? I'll come along, right?
So here's the one thing I put my finger on when you asked that question is
Yes.
Get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Do things that make you feel uncomfortable. It's kind of stinks at the beginning, but
It
when
pays
you
off.
get through that,
Right.
it is now just second nature.
Right.
And you keep rinse and repeat. Keep doing it. Doesn't matter. You're sweating at the table. You're fidgety. You lose track of your thoughts. You can't say the right thing. Keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
The way
And
I looked at it
Okay,
is,
so
sorry.
read Eddie's comment too, and then let Jeff follow up with that.
I'll read it out loud because
Yeah,
it's
go
a
ahead.
radio show,
It
Joe.
feels good to trust
Jesus.
people in your group and take care of your customers. 100%. That is also your reputation on the line. Very,
And
very
then Jeff,
true.
you expand on that.
something that I've always looked at it with this group, it's not just what does it bring to me as a business owner monetarily, but it's what value does it bring to all my clients. Like
Yeah.
they get access to all of these people as part of my team, and that's invaluable. I know Joe, unfortunately, has been in numerous clients of mine's homes due to something terrible happening, but he's been there, and I can trust telling them, let me make one phone call and it's going to be taken care of. We've got you. But that value, you can't put a dollar amount to the value that all these guys bring to each of our businesses.
I want you guys to remind me later near the end of the show to tell a little bit of a story about what you just touched on. I think it's going to be saved for later.
And then
Okay.
Ken, just to go on
Story
your
about
story, how
value.
does it start?
About that.
Not only do the networking meetings, but we met one-on-one with
Each other.
Yeah, each other outside of the meeting, because when you do that,
We were required to. So
Right.
We were
Well, you're
required
required
to set
to-
those up to get to know each other.
right, it helps you personally get to know that
Yeah.
person and know if you can trust that person and learn a little bit more
Right.
about that person. So by doing that, that's how you knew, okay,
Mhm.
this is somebody I can refer somebody to.
So if we're going to discuss networking groups and people are out there looking to grow their business and want to do it through networking, that's fantastic. Get to the meeting, get outside of your comfort zone, but you need to take it one step further.
Yeah.
If you identify somebody that's a power partner you think can help your business,
Yeah,
you need to go to that person and be like, hey, I'd like to sit down with you outside of this one-on-one and just
Yep.
shoot the Can
And look at our network.
Yeah,
too.
you
can.
Yeah, you're going to want to shoot the
Yes.
shit.
We are not
Yeah.
FCC regulated.
Good. I mean, you're going to want to
So
spend the
anybody
time to get
holding
to know
back
them.
thus far, you feel free to
Well,
butterfly.
That's good to know.
No, don't
Well,
tell me
you
that.
haven't been swearing a lot, so I've been holding myself
Right.
back. 'Cause
I
you're a truck
try
driver.
to be a relatively good host. That actually brings up a good
Yeah.
point, because when you mentioned that 0 point, that point of zero, first introduction, you know, I know Mike.
I knew you were going to bring it up. I love it.
Yeah, I know that Mike.
Because I admitted it. I told
Well,
you
you
right off the
admitted
bat,
it,
yeah.
but not only that, but like you and I have definitely have this
Yeah.
relationship, right? And from day one, you know, I think we're both very strong in our personality.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no.
maybe a little bit. And so you even, you know, you and I had this conversation of, hey, you know, in the beginning, I don't know.
I underestimated you.
I
did.
yes. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah.
I look at you completely
You
different today
underestimated
than I
power
did on
of
day
force.
one. But we kept going outside that comfort zone.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, right? Like, and
So-
that's where it was
Sorry,
fun
go
to
ahead,
take.
go ahead.
So I'm going to ask another question then.
Sure.
So when you guys enter into, because I've been to, I don't know, in the last 4 years, maybe, I don't know, 15 different networking groups.
And we're the best, right?
Yes,
I'm just
obviously.
teasing.
So, unless Dawn Bremer's listening, then outside of like MC5.
Yeah. Then Don's the best, yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
actually, Eric's
keeping it-
listening. So, Bro MC.
Oh, you
yeah.
saw- you know Dawn.
Yeah.
Hi, Don.
She's in the studio.
So how do you
once a
guys
week.
treat a
She has her own
situation where you walk into a networking group or environment where your power partners, so people that you would be looking to meet, walking, in case somebody doesn't know what a power partner is, like for me as a bookkeeper, I would be looking for a CPA, for example, or like Joe would be looking for somebody in the trades, or
I'm looking
Mike
for a
would be
realtor.
looking for realtors, or, you know, so on and so forth. Jeff's looking for somebody that owns a house or a car.
Yeah.
And, you know, so how do you guys treat that situation where your power partner isn't the most ideal for you and the way you work with your clients, but you like some of the other people in the group? Like, do you still take the time to decline the offer of being the group, but you still take the time to develop those relationships with people that are in the group that you feel will be compatible?
If you're joining a group and that one power partner you have is a lemon.
If you think
but
they
the
are,
other
you believe they are.
If they,
Well,
well,
you
if they
don't
are
know
a
yet
lemon.
because you haven't gotten to know them.
It's just called
Let's put it this way.
professionally not compatible.
Right. Okay.
Through time though, you're talking like I've met with this person. I know
Right.
now have a feeling that they're not
you have
But
compatible.
other people in
Yeah.
the group you feel like
Okay,
you
good
can jive
question.
with, what
Yeah.
do you feel?
Go ahead, Brian.
We if it's a lemon, we have cut ties with those people because nobody felt comfortable giving them business.
What
Right.
about the group?
No, I'm
But
just
the
saying,
group,
like,
yeah.
No,
the
for
group,
usually,
like
yeah,
if
and it's
you
an
as an
individual.
individual, not
Mhm.
this networking group.
Yeah, you
Okay.
go and
Some
find
people
one
might have
partner.
found that person completely compatible, and
Right.
maybe they're not a power partner, but they like them and they want to do business together. And one
Right.
person doesn't. Everyone's got
Right.
different.
See,
opinions.
yeah, for me,
Absolutely.
my thought would be if I go and look at a group and the people that I would really that are my power partners in that group, but I'm not going to get along with them, or they don't want to get along, you know, whatever it may be. I would not go through that group if it wasn't, because that's the reason you're doing this, is to show up
Right.
every day, is to
Right.
make money, and
Mhm.
it's a business.
But you would
Right.
still take time though to develop
take
relationships with
time
other people in the
to-
group.
Well,
might
yes,
not
but I would not
join the group.
Right,
Right.
right.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
no.
want to throw
So
that
our
out to people as an option.
first disagreements.
What?
Our first
Oh.
disagreement.
Ah,
So that's
you join?
I think you might be shooting yourself in the foot there. So as again, this group. So let's start from the dynamic of how I got in this group.
Okay.
My partner, Nicole Lamort at Cross Country Mortgage, she runs our branch. She's our leader. She was initially going to be in this BNI group, not me. And she didn't have the time. She was in another group. She was doing Girls on the Run. She had a lot on her plate.
Right.
I
met her at a charity event. I
Yeah.
asked her to join. She was, I got something to be perfect for you.
Yeah, and
And I
she told me
never
to
met
go.
you. Yep.
She told me to go.
Mhm.
And outside the comfort zone is why I brought this up, because as much as I think I'm great with people, I was uncomfortable at this meeting. I didn't want to, stand up and do my little 60-second pitch, and a lot of reasons. But when I first got in the group, I was like, okay, well, I don't know what power partners are. I'm learning that because I've been here for 3 or 4 years, but I wasn't sure if me and Brian were going to be a fit. I did not know. Everyone was nervous. It takes time. You can't give up on try 1 because you're uncomfortable.
Right.
You can't give up on try 2 because you're uncomfortable. You have to keep digging. And it was very quickly, me and Jeff knew each other from high school. I'm older than him, but I
rub that one in.
Yeah,
Jeez,
much older than
Much.
Hey,
But I
you
threw him
for the folks at home, much
batting
older.
practice at Elgin High School.
Much older.
Much.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
But that,
So me and Jeff started golfing right away. We connected because we
Within a
went to
week
the
or
same
two
high
of you
school,
coming.
all of
Yep.
that. And then our second or third outing, we invited Brian.
Thank
And
you. Yeah.
We, I'm saying, yeah, you know what I mean, though. So I'm like, I want to get to know Brian on more of a personal level. This is it. Like we've had 3 or 4 meetings.
All right,
And-
he's going to be your power
Yeah.
partner, so why
Yes.
not?
So
right?
we had that, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because we
yeah.
spent time, not just like this 5 minutes here, 2 minutes here. We dug in.
But you didn't.
We
walk
got to know
into
each
that
other.
meeting and go and sit down with him and say, "I don't click with him."
Right.
You clicked
No.
with him.
The first
Yeah,
meeting.
you have to give it.
you gotta
Obviously,
give it
time's
time.
It takes
important
time,
if you
yes.
have it to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. If you have the time to give, and
I
that's
had
the
the
biggest
time to
thing
give.
about all this networking.
I had the
is
time to give
sometimes
at
you
that
don't
point.
have the time to give to all these groups,
Yeah.
and you have to identify the ones. If you're doing it initially for business purposes, I said this when I left the group.
Singapore, age.
Age segue alert.
I did this. I said this when I left the group.
Yeah.
If you've built your relationships and it's not advancing your business and it's a time waster,
No,
Yeah.
you can't keep doing it.
Right.
Like if you're a small
Correct.
business, you're doing so much on your own already. You have to
Yeah.
identify the
Yeah.
items that are going to
Time
bring
is
value.
Time is value.
Because if they're
That's
not,
and that's
you got to
where-
get rid of them.
That's where I think her question was coming from. Is you get out of the group You maintain the relationships.
But
you feel
joining the
are
group can
worthwhile.
only, in our groups, only takes a couple weeks. You have to decide.
Mhm.
You have to
Right,
take that
with,
leap.
like
I mean,
like
most
with most
groups
like
it
with
is
most
like
groups,
that.
it's that way too. But you could definitely go in. They give you a couple of visits, right? You can
Based
always,
on your efforts, you can
right,
do
right.
a lot.
You can always go in. Exactly. You can always go in and you could do those 2 visits, maybe space them out and give yourself that time in between to go and meet with each one of those people.
Absolutely.
But see how tight
Good idea.
knit our group is. Steph just visited, and now I'm trying to tie her into like over 400 realtors, right?
Which that's
So
it though.
that's what I'm saying.
Is
We've realized you fit in with our group, and by
We
doing
realized. Well, thank you, Brian.
Ah.
it, no,
Brian put
no.
that
What I'm saying is, by doing that and her training, I'm gonna try to get you more business.
Welcome,
Brian's
welcome.
the godfather of the
Welcome.
group.
Yeah. Steph, welcome to the white guy group. That's fantastic.
So I guess I'll go around the table. So how does it feel as a small business owner to know that you have a team of people behind you that you could be like, I got a guy or a gal or someone to help you with the situation, whether it results in business for you? Like, because I've been out and about and walking around, and somebody called me recently for my business, and they're like, hey, I need a bookkeeper for this and this, but really they need a billing specialist. I know somebody that's a billing specialist. And so I was like, hey, I'll give you to her because she will service you way better than I can.
Yeah.
You're explaining
So,
a value add to your business. Though,
Like,
right?
Right.
how does that
Correct.
feel?
When they have
like,
a situation, they need to pick up the phone, call Steph because she can
Singapore
answer.
group hug. Do we need to do a group hug?
I mean, it's
group hug.
And
Like,
what you're
Yeah.
asking is a perfect explanation of what any person really wants from their clients. When something's needed, I
Yeah.
want you to call me.
Yep.
And I can speak
You
for
want them to
Brian.
have
We're
it, yeah.
Italian. We always got a guy. And it's important,
Yeah,
especially in my
It's all
position.
Italian,
If somebody calls me for a specific question, I need to be able to either answer or help them get that question answered. The reason is anytime they think of it, they're like, if I call Rocco, the work's getting done. Whether it's by him or somebody he's spent 5, 10, 20 years vetting out as a trusted partner.
I
think
can't tell you how many times I had past clients call me still to this day. And they say, they asked me when I first met them, why am I using you? I know people. And they'd call me up. Hey, who do you know that does this? Okay. And it just feels good to be able to refer somebody.
I think it builds instant credibility for you as a business owner. Having a team behind you, like, hey, I got you. Don't worry. We're going to get it taken care of. Let me put you in touch with a Joe or a Mike or a Rocco or a Brian. Just give me a little bit of time, but you look like the hero to the client by doing that.
I have a couple. There's I'm part of a franchise. I've mentioned it before on the show, and my franchise has several new owners that are moving into the Chicagoland area and buying up some property. So kudos, I love it. It builds my brand recognition in the area. So I really do actually love that. I want to help them be successful. So Carrie and I coach a lot of the local owners in the area. And one of them called me this morning, literally to this point, and was like, hey, I think I missed a job. And I said, well, did you say no? Yeah. Well, there's your problem. You can't say no. Right. You
Say I got a guy.
It's not no. It's yeah, I can help you. Right. It's never a no. It's a yes, I can help you.
Yes.
Here's who I'm going to go turn you over to. Right. Like, here's where you need to go. Yes, I can always help you. Because as soon as you say no.
And I'm sorry, and to answer Steph's question, like, what your topic was on that is, even if we don't benefit from it, what do we get out of it? Just knowing that we're the person they can turn to, maybe down the road, it will lead us to more business.
And that leads to growth personally. I mean,
absolutely.
it's
not all
again,
monetary.
what do we start?
correct.
What we
Yeah.
started with right away. What can we got to give, right? I mean, we got to come from that place of giving and not thinking about what am I going to get.
Right.
People that thought like that every single time they left the group or we didn't allow them in the group.
So speaking down that road too, it's like, it's legitimately, I feel, at the point where I think we've all gotten to the point where we really aren't thinking about our pocketbooks anymore. We're legitimate thinking about how we can not only help our client,
others,
but
yeah.
also help our other friends and businesses grow.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you could get to that level, which, I mean, for me, it took time.
Mhm.
Because originally when you start doing this, especially if you've taken the leap in starting your own business, it's a fallback as far as personal income goes. It's a drastic fallback. For me, it was like half.
Right.
And
So
people-
you're scraping, right?
Yeah.
But if you come to the realization that as long as I keep giving, as long as my intentions are always in that person's best interest, it comes back to you like leaps and bounds
'Cause people
once
see
you
that.
get on right.
They see that, don't
Yeah.
they? They see that, like, if you're like, give me, or oh, please,
Right.
please give me some business. They know right away you're desperate. And
So you said
you know.
what do you like about that? You said when you're with a client, you have a team behind you from multiple professions that you can give to that person. What do you think is going to happen when I give that person Joe to if they had some fire damage and they're a close friend of mine, or Rocco or Jeff that has insurance stuff, or Brian and his agent, or many other people in our group? When I give that business out, those people that are receiving that business are automatically going to be grateful, thankful. And in our group now, because we're so close, you feel almost obligated to go find them a deal, and you're keeping them top of mind.
Right.
Like when he comes
keep
with
it
goal
in-
planning and you have goal planning, we want to keep each other accountable. We set up days to talk to each other. We've all had days, I call them call days, where we either figure out a way to give, I take an hour out of my day, not to work on my business, but to figure out how I can bring someone else business for them to grow. That's huge. There's not many people in business that do that.
So outside of growth in business, I know personally, because I've only been in business for 4 years. So some of the networking groups and relationships that I've built with people over the 4 years, I've learned I don't even know like how much stuff I've learned from people, and the level of honesty that other business owners are willing to share in these groups to express like the trials and struggles that they've been through as a business owner and the things that you've learned. So it's not just about getting deals. It's also about learning, and like the education piece is so important. So what do you feel like, because it's so much easier to receive information from somebody that you respect and that you could see, like, not just if you feel that they're successful, but just the level like that they speak like with such like education or such confidence.
I could say when I talk to Mike and he's like, oh, I'm doing this, and you just said, I set down tests, I have my schedule, I stick to my schedule. Nope, I got this going. Nope, I got that going. When I'm pretty good, I thought I was pretty good with my schedule. And then I met Mike, and I'm like, no, he's a master of his schedule, right? And
Mike's
like,
got each minute written down.
but
it also allows me to work less, not more.
But the people that do that, right? The people that do
we're
that,
in the bottom of the half. We got
halfway through the show. We got
Epic Media. We got to give them a shout out. Go ahead, Ken.
Let's go.
That's it. Of course, when you're truly authentic, there can be no competitors. With the continued growth of technology these days, it's essential that you have an effective internet marketing strategy in place for your business. Whether you need a custom website designed or help integrating your social media accounts to your business marketing program, check out Epic Media, epicmediainc.com. Jess is fantastic. Give her a call. She is awesome.
Yep. We all know her.
Great person too. That's amazing. Get to know people.
Gary says, I concur with that. I'm doing a small print production sole prop business after leaving full-time employment last year. I can't do cloth printing, but I help the inquiries tie up with silk screen printers that can do it, as I'm only doing printing on paper substrates. And when striking out on your own, the initial projects may be small or don't have much margins, but word gets around as long as the quality and service is there.
For sure.
Absolutely. I think that's really the key that we all pull from each other is, that little bit here and there.
Singapore, I was just answering.
I have another loaded question.
Oh,
yes.
I will
Who invited her to the show
here.
here? Come on.
Does anybody here ever Google and look at anybody's reviews and reputation before they join the networking group or before they dive into business with them?
Yes.
So we made a mistake early on in our networking of not doing such a thing. Not properly vetting, but I think we all personally kind of had an inkling of the person's
You guys had an
aptitude
incident,
to
right?
be a business
Where
owner.
you
I'll say I'm going to be on the other side of this for a little bit, because I know we all need reviews. I know we want reviews from the people that think we're awesome. You're always going to have an occasional bad review, whether you did something wrong or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But just like Consumer Reports, or in my opinion, the school districts and rankings and all that, is there a form of manipulation of this? I don't know. I don't rely on reviews only. I do not. If I had to pick between getting to know Joe more and getting to know Brian more and dealing with or figuring out if we were compatible, I will pick that over 5,000 5-star reviews.
Really?
There's absolutely.
Because a lot of that stuff that these
they
days
can
is
be
paid
manipulated.
for.
Yeah.
I
think
I've
a
had
lot of
friends
it's
that
paid
said,
for.
"Hey, I own
Are
this
there,
business."
is
I can
every
tell
place
you-
the best pizza place in the world? Because every place is the best pizza place.
I can tell you that
They're all ranked
every
number one.
single
I can-
one of
I'll
our
sign up for
reviews
that.
online
I know you're right. I know you're right.
genuine. Every single one of my
Yeah.
reviews are genuine.
Uh-huh.
And hey, a lot are.
Right,
But when you
correct.
know that some aren't,
All of them.
as an outsider,
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah,
are you able to decipher?
I've had buddies
I-
that say, "Can you go on Yelp and give me a 5-star review?
Yeah.
Because I had a bad one. I need to bury it." So I was
But
like,
what do you think I lead out when I
So-
ask for a review? Hey,
Right.
would it be so awesome if you gave me a 5-star
Yeah.
review? Or you asked
All the
for a
reviews
1-star
I have,
review?
I've
Right,
asked
right,
for,
right.
and
What they're
some people
thinking
do it,
is,
they're not paid.
I'm not going to leave a review maybe if I'm not going to give 5
I
stars.
think it might be a little bit easier with small businesses than it is for anything of like mid or large reputation, right? I mean, a one-off
Yeah,
person
the
like
small-
your page, for example, my page, where it's your face that's the business, and
Mhm.
the reason why the people are there is because of you. It's probably a lot easier to take that into consideration, but I'm the type of person like I need to read someone. I need to be in them. I need to be with them. I need to be around them. I need to
Yeah.
see. I need to.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes seeing even
Yep.
like their
A
like personal stance, how
a
they talk to their
one-to-one
wife.
gives me
Sure,
a one-to-one gives me
Yeah.
a lot of info on
Yeah.
about.
It's
So
Read
like-
that last bullet. Like,
Is that Garrett?
I
Like
Google
that.
on those. Wait,
I'll
yeah,
do
I'm
it,
gonna
Joe.
feed out
I
that.
Google on those to understand
good-
the
good point,
strengths
Gabe.
and weaknesses of those in the industry and to see where there may be some small pockets of opportunity that other people may overlook.
So
Yeah.
that's when you read reviews.
Correct.
If you see a consistent change between the good and the bad, or if it's all good, and you see certain phrases and you can break that down and analyze it, you still want to look at the reviews. I'm not saying not
yeah,
to.
right,
Correct.
But you have to really dig in and not just read them and then forget about that one and move on to the next. You have to find the trends and the consistencies.
I never done anything like that before.
Yeah,
I like
if
to
you're
ask-
going to.
I like to ask people that I'm close to what they think of that person if they've done business with. An example that comes up is Mike and I, when the group was first getting going, we were sort of in charge of vetting and admitting people into the group, and we were sort of at a standstill. We're like, I don't know. We're sort of on this side of the fence, and on this side of the fence, we asked a couple other members in the group what their opinions were, and that actually helped us come to a final decision on things where we were pretty much stuck, but we
I know
wanted
exactly.
people.
Don't be- don't
Well,
be
no,
that.
but we
There's
wanted
been a
those
couple. It
people's
doesn't matter the
opinions.
names.
We
We
wanted
have-
valued opinion of more
Yeah.
than just the two of us. We wanted a collective
Wasn't
barometer
fair.
of the group.
Well,
Which we
and-
get a lot of respect for by doing that, because we could have made a decision on our own.
Well,
But
and
we
but
would
that's
probably
the
wouldn't have
thing,
been
though,
right.
is-
It's a
is-
learning experience.
It
There's
is.
nothing wrong to be had about it. It's
We
just
would have
all
been wrong.
Your
We probably
perspective
would have
and
been
how you
wrong.
look at it.
Mhm.
Like there's something to learn about bad situations and good ones.
Correct.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, just look at the NFL. I mean, bad coaching.
Oh, let's not get
No.
into
Look-
that.
that's
We'll be
how
here
many
till
bad-
we'll be
Oh,
here
my
till
God.
tomorrow.
I gotta
No,
take
no,
Brian's
no.
JC away
No,
from
no,
him.
no.
Okay.
Damn it, geez.
All right,
Brian.
so
No.
let's go back to what Mike said a little bit ago. Is that you take an hour out of your day to try to help find or help build somebody else's business. That's a unique business model, right?
Not every day.
Well,
That's
but
too much time.
Right.
I can't give up 12
Well, I understand.
of my day to,
I understand.
you know.
So, but the idea of that is unique. And during that time, how does that build those relationships?
that 1 hour.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting down with someone saying, "Hey, come in, meet with me, teach me how to introduce you to my people," because maybe a great example early on, I did not know how to refer somebody. A quality referral, not hot lead, cold lead, right? It's here's a piece of paper, here's a lead, and that person has no clue that you're going to call them.
Yeah,
that is that's not a lead.
No.
Mhm.
That's nothing. When you bring someone and say, "Hey, teach me how to refer you," I'm going to take what you want me to say and put it in my quick parts, and I'm going to put this out to my partners on certain emails that are specific to them. And let's look through my database of who can help you today. I mean, I can tell you that more times than not, that person made money that day.
Yeah.
I took an hour out, I moved on, and guess what? The very next day, I probably got a referral from that person. And it's that trust. It's that person's like, man, this person's going out of their way. Or sometimes it's both of you collaborating, saying, you're both like, yes, let's do this for each other.
And
And
then
that's
it's not just saying yes, let's do it. It's actually doing it.
yeah.
Right? Like that, I think, is the big connection right here. Is everybody can say all you want. Oh yeah, I went out to the chamber. I met all these people. I sat down, had lunch with them. I did this. I did that. Great. But what you're saying is I'm actually going out and taking it upon an hour out of the week to take it upon myself to literally do something for somebody else.
That's a long an hour. So every couple weeks, let's say like
my aspect is completely different. And I think that's like everybody has their way of doing it. The way I operate is I'm always looking for those trigger phrases for those people's businesses.
You're constantly the radar,
like, and that's the only way I ever felt. I feel like I've been like this since I was a kid, but like when I hear something, it like Joe just goes off in my head.
Like literally, it's a blip on the radar.
I caught that aha moment.
So real quick, we've got 400 some thousand listeners to this show every week. If people want to know what you do, Mike, how they get in touch with you?
Mike Campbell with Cross Country Mortgage out of Crystal Lake, 85 South Virginia Street in Crystal Lake. I don't give out
a website or email.
Email. Sorry, michael.campbell@myccmortgage.com. Campbell like the soup. Reach out to me anytime.
There you go. Rocco.
Rocco Martinelli, Country Financial Wakanda, 847-469-0065 or Rocco, ROCCO, not like the kangaroo. Martinelli, MARTINELLI @countryfinancial.com.
I was not laughing at you.
Right.
I was laughing at Brian because Brian is about to do
Cell
it
phone.
again.
Don't do the cell phone.
Do the cell phone.
I learned my lesson in Singapore. Thank you for not calling me collect. I appreciate it. I saw you couldn't find a payphone, so thank you for that. Brian Malai, Keller Success Realty. You can email me at bmal@kw.com. Thank you.
All right, Jeff Bryant with Church Insurance Agency. Jeff Bryant at churchinsagency.com or 217-465-0665.
He's going there. He's doing it.
Is that your cell phone?
It is not.
Yeah. Way to go.
That's Jeff's. That's Jeff's.
I give my cell phone out on the radio station. 847-942-3004. That's my direct cell
Blow
phone.
it up right now.
There you go.
One more time.
So, or go ahead, Joe. Give your.
Joe Turner, Restoration One, 847-264-4664.
He's looking at the phone.
Brian's head's in the way right now.
There you go.
On the video, so. You guys need anything 24/7? We always have crews on call, so happy to help.
Now, listen, and I'm just going to say this. I've known some of you for some time and some of you for not some time. But if you're tuning in right now, this is a table just full of knowledge, full of passion, and people who, aren't in it for the money, but make the money because they're good at what they do. So rewind or go back and listen because this is the energy in the studio is incredible. Just the brilliance at the table.
Ken.
So yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wait, when you guys tell me
He's just buttering you guys up.
So-
Don't let him.
I feel like a piece of bread
So,
right now.
yeah,
I'm buttered up here.
So, how many times after being in several different networking groups or just having your own business, how many times have you learned something interesting from somebody that's given their 10-minute presentation as the business spotlight? Like
Every single week, whether it's how they run their business when it comes to hiring employees or how like Mike time blocks his schedule or Michelle Mintz, if you're listening, shout out to you for coming and cleaning all of our tile. Didn't realize the scope of products she had. So literally every week it's something new. Like we just had our home inspector speak last week and just showed different things to look for if you're looking to buy a new house. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, whoa, I never thought about this. Like Brian just mentioned, it's that aha moment. Pretty sure all of us have an aha moment every week we meet.
During that home inspector's presentation, Mike leans over to me and goes, I got that.
Yeah.
Because he did the top 10 most common things. He goes, that's what I know. I saw that.
Well, these presentations give them opportunity to really tell you what they do in a full scope. So many times before they give their presentation, I wonder what is everything you do? What's your perfect client?
How do you actually fit in what your job description is into a 60 seconds, right? Unless you have it completely nailed down, right, to where you literally have it, so it's so on point and precise. Nobody's going to know the scope of work you do, right? Like everything about you, it's 60 seconds. So
like these two guys always talk about, who do you know that owns a gravel company, or what contractors out there,
Mhm.
let me look over your policies. Maybe you don't have the proper coverage, So speak to my two guys here, Rocco and Jeff. That's something important I need to know. Like, do you know a guy who owns a landscaping company? Shoot, I do. Can I make the introduction?
Has there anybody that's given a 10-minute presentation that you've looked at, like you've listened the whole 10 minutes, and then you're like really confused?
One.
Absolutely, yeah. So it was like Charlie Brown's teacher talking. It was like, wah, yes.
And you're like,
Maybe two.
You're like, are you sure that like your company is named the right name?
Correct.
Have you guys ever been able to like provide some type of guidance or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
or
Yes,
assistance
yes.
to somebody from
We
being
have
in
mentors,
business
so
for longer than
This
like
is
that?
this is great. We have mentors in our chapter, we call it chapters, in our networking groups, that newcomers that maybe not know how to do a 60-second correctly, or know how to refer somebody, or isn't handing out enough referrals. We mentor them on the things that we've all done over this time to help them grow. Because if you're not accurately or comfortable doing these things, you may not grow your business like you are able to. You're not maximizing your potential.
And that's actually one good point to building a relationship is when you go and mentor somebody, right? We've all 5 of us, 6 of us, I'm sure you've done it too, Steph, is we've all taken people under our wing. Even if it's completely out of your business realm, right? It's just somebody trying to get in and get out and get talking to people, and you just take them under your wing and go, listen, you got to do this, you got to do that. That right there helps to build a relationship, because
Well, at the end of the
starting
day,
out.
the
Right.
end product is not. Everybody's end product here is differently, but like
Right.
most of like the core values of business and how you should do things are relatively similar, right?
Correct.
So if you can kind of get past that, like you can help mentor a business to get started. Like my cousin started a roofing business a few years ago. One of the first things he did was came and sat in my office and picked my brain and asked me like, what do you do? How'd you do it? Roofing and a financial advisor are completely different. It's not even in the same realm of world.
Right.
But I mean, the core values of business and how you should.
I don't know. You
act
both
and-
make sure they're covered.
Hey,
hey.
Come on.
That was good.
All right.
Good one. Good one.
But
Ryan,
those,
you
those
missed
things
that
are
joke.
those things are like tried
I
and
said
true
they all need
methods
a
that
sequel
shouldn't be
part.
overlooked.
Right. All right. So Mike, you said you wanted to get back to something. Jeff was talking about the story about Joe being in everybody's house coming in.
Great.
And you said,
Okay.
hey, let's come back to that. We've got about
Right.
14 minutes. So
Okay.
what do you got?
Fantastic. So, I had a recent event at my house, and it's always, I've struggled with who I'm going to share it with. And I think the more people I share it with, the better.
So 400,000 people. Don't
Yeah,
let-
400,000.
This is a good crowd to
It
open up
is.
to.
So I had a recent event.
Change
Start
the
off
names
with
of the
everyone
innocent.
with everyone knowing that my family's safe, everyone's safe, we're strong.
Nobody
we're gonna
was
get through
hurt.
it. Nobody was
Nobody's
hurt.
hurt.
But I had an event at my house where there was a gas leak, led to an explosion, and led to a house fire. I can tell you, my first call was to my wife. She was at work. Luckily, no one was there. My second call, who I'm personally insured through, was my insurance agent, who's sitting right next to me. The third call that I made was to Joe,
Which I
because
didn't
he's
pick
the
up.
restoration guy.
Which I didn't pick up.
Yeah,
Twice.
You did, but your wife did.
No, but my
But
wife
Carrie
picked up.
picked
Oh, my
up.
wife
Carrie
picked up.
picked up.
Carrie's business.
I can't even call his friend.
Yeah. And by
Carrie's
the way, I want to
business.
point out both of these gentlemen have insured me. So it's a group. That's beside the point. But for me to get through that day, knowing that I just had to make 2 phone calls. I had to make 2 important phone calls, and then I could walk away to deal with my family. That was huge. And I can't, I'm very grateful, but if I didn't get in this position of helping other people grow and knowing that they wanted to help me grow and developing relationships and building that trust, I don't know how I would have got through it that day. Like that first day.
What you would have done is you would have called the insurance claims line.
Got it to
Who would have got a customer service who would have pointed you.
would have never known to call you.
Another vendor, whoever's on the vendor program, right?
The village or whoever's giving me
And
their
they would
they
have
make
gone down
money
that,
off of.
that route and
Yeah.
all that, right? Yeah, and which could have and maybe would have
maybe.
turned out totally fine. But the ease, like you said, the ease of being able to just pick up the phone, call 2 people, and go, I'm done. Right.
Yeah.
And it's experiences like that like transition to our clients. Like now, if this is something Mike's willing to share more with people, he can be like, listen, this is what happened to me. And do you know how well Joe was able to take
Mhm.
care of me and my experience. Like this guy was in my house after it exploded. Everything's perfect now because of Joe.
Mhm.
You know, like those being able to tell that to your clients, like, all right, this is easy. I'm just gonna pick up the phone and call them. I don't need anybody else. It helps eliminate competition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, they do say when people are out looking on their own, they'll call 3 to 4 businesses, right?
Mhm.
When it's a referral, it's less than 2.
Yeah.
When
So it gives you better
my
opportunity.
sister-in-law needed to
Agreed.
refinance her house, and you know, when you go to do that kind of thing, we have such a relationship with Mike that literally my wife was like, she didn't even call me to ask, like, oh, you network with all these people, who do you want to talk to? She literally just goes, boom, here's Mike's contact info, and gave him the contact info for being able to just take over, and he did.
Yeah.
He managed it, he handled it totally good. You know, Brian sold one of our employees who just moved out of town, sold her house. I have the relationship with Brian, but she reached out to him because she's also built that
It's a triangle of
relationship,
trust, right?
right? Like she understands, right?
Triangle, it's a circle.
That's a triangle.
Is it a triangle?
Yeah.
So if I
Is
trust
there
you
a
and you
street?
trust me and we bring in one
We
person,
bring in the client,
there's
right?
that
Oh, the
triangle.
Circle.
Circles, octagons, you can make one of
I like
those.
circles.
Yeah, I
This is like a septagon.
You're here,
of
Gaylord.
Trust,
Right?
yeah.
Here's a question for the group that came in from a listener. Is let's say you're involved in more than one group, and so you guys have great relationships with each other,
Mhm.
but you're in another group, and let's say they do the same thing as one of the people here at the table.
Mhm.
How do you keep everybody happy or build relationships that way?
Oh, I think
so
we're
Mike, you
all- I
start
think we're-
and we'll go around the table.
Yeah, I think we're all going to change on this one. Good that we're going to do that. I think everyone might differ a little bit on this, but I think this is everything we're talking about. It's who are you going to feel most comfortable with? You know, it all depends on that relationship. Are you making connections with both of them? Is one, you know, hands down more compatible than the other one? Who do you trust more? It's hard to really navigate that position. I suggest just going with your gut and who you think is going to do the best job for your clients. And then you have to kind of if it's new in that system of developing referral partners, give them a chance to talk to both. You know, it depends on where that relationship really is. It's hard. But I think for me, I can't be in a second group personally. Like if it's in the same position, it's hard to even start a new relationship. Here's a great example. I'm going to go a little long on this one. So,
No way.
People have.
That's what she said.
People have left. There's people that have left our group
Mhm.
that I've built relationships with, and then when we were in another group, this is kind of why we left. Is they would bring in another person, and right away people would start referring that person versus the person that just left, but they built that relationship, or I thought they did. I don't know how I could possibly stop referring somebody just because they're a new member in my group. You still have to have that connection. You don't give that up. That's, to me, it's disrespectful. You're not being true to yourself. You're definitely not being true to your clients. You're just playing the game.
Yeah.
Very well.
You have to dig in.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think for me, it's like for me, it's part of building my business. So like Michael knows I work with more than one mortgage broker if I have a referral, right?
You should.
And I have to, because I got my numbers for last year. 99% of my business came from a referral. So if I'm not working with people that can refer me, it's not gonna help me, right?
Mhm.
So like your business partners need to know that, and they also need to be comfortable with it. If they're not, there might not be the person for you, right? Like I know certain business partners are comfortable with that. They have to be, right?
Yeah,
so it's an explanation, it's an understanding. Not only that, if you are doing your job the right way and you are in tune with your clients, you might know, like, you know what? I see how you are. Mike might not be the best fit for you on this one. I might need to send you over to this person because you need a different approach that maybe that's not Mike's approach.
I'd never want to hinder your business.
No, exactly.
That would be
Either way,
unfair.
you wouldn't want to do that.
No.
And again, that goes back to the core of what we talked about. If your intentions are out there to help your clients and everybody around you, your friends, if they don't understand, then those are the people that be with you. You just need to move on from it. You know,
the building a friendship is one thing, the business is another, but like everybody has competition out there,
and that's healthy.
Yeah.
I think you lost track of the order.
I think so too. Yeah.
Well,
You
I'm
did
just saying,
But he's in the know.
I'm going to do this every time.
Is it okay if I go now? I'm just teasing.
Right.
I'm teasing.
Raise your hand next time.
I just like busting Joe's chops.
Raise
That's
your
all.
hand.
You did a
All
fantastic
right,
job.
Pimo.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you. No, I think what it boils down to is get to know your client too, because that client may not gel with that person. They may gel with the other person you know in the other group.
Mhm.
So that's a big importance. You hear that a lot too. Like, remember
Yeah.
another realtor had come out to you is like, I don't
Yeah.
know, that may not fit with you. It may fit with your business
Yeah,
partner.
that's a great example.
So,
Me and
exactly.
Nicole, people think we compete. We're partners at our branch.
Hey, Mike,
And
you
we're-
went out of turn.
Oh, sorry. I was going on.
Thank you.
He's gonna eat that alive, man. He's gonna eat that up.
No, but
Yeah.
no,
Gotcha.
that's
Good
okay.
one.
because That's why I was
But I'm
referring to that
part
too.
of this.
And then, like Mike and I always talk too. He says, "I can't give you every lead I get." He goes, "I gotta deal with
Divvy it
other
out,
realtors."
right?
I understand it because if he went off of just my business, he'd be living in a tent in the middle of a forest somewhere. Okay, he needs to know many of realtors, not just one.
Yeah,
It's
realtor.
off-grid living. A lot of people like that now.
So you need to, you need to expand your business referrals to many avenues.
Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
I would say figuring out, what the best need for the client is, who's going to be a good fit. And maybe you don't have a direct referral for that person, but maybe you have a connection. Maybe I can connect Mike with a new realtor. It's not a referral for him to write a loan immediately, but maybe it's somebody who can start funneling business to Mike. Or maybe I know somebody, maybe I know another insurance person that's like, hey, I've been burned by this restoration company a couple times. Great. I'm not going to get anything from it, but maybe Joe and him can strike up a conversation and start a relationship. It's just figuring out how can I connect you with somebody to funnel you business, but then I'm taking a step back, but I'm still bringing some added value to your business.
Right.
So I'm going to give this. I'm not going to answer the question. I am going to
Give Joe your
make
10
an
minutes.
announcement and let everybody know
Yes.
that I filed for my PTIN number. I am officially registered with the IRS. So Steph's bookkeeping service now can offer tax services to individuals and sole proprietors and LLCs as long as they're not filing as a sub S. So we are launching our
Congratulations.
tax.
Yeah, all right.
That's awesome. Congrats. I think everybody kind of pointed out on the right that the same we all kind of have that same feeling is I can go and refer you out to somebody, and I can get you that business. But if I do have a competitor out there and I know that my referral partner is also going to be sending them business, that's fine because you can still build. What if that
Thanks,
competitor has a line of business that they don't offer, but you do? Right. I'm sure you have a mortgage person out there that offers, doesn't offer some kind of mortgage, a jumbo loan or whatever it may be.
No,
that
Mike
they
does
said,
it.
no.
Well, I mean, there is that situation, but our company does. If there's a
Everything,
mortgage
right,
done, it
We
doesn't.
do it
That's what I'm
all.
saying. Is,
Well,
you
besides
do everything.
commercial, so there you go. So commercial
Commercial,
lending is
right?
outsourced.
HELOC,
right?
That's it.
HELOC.
No, but
You're
that's what I'm
referring
saying.
me
Yeah.
If you're doing all home loans, right?
What's that?
All good.
I don't want to refer down.
Mike's got a guy.
Yeah, I got a guy.
Yeah.
Or a girl.
Call
Well,
Mike first.
but if-
Person.
What I'm saying is if somebody else does not do a jumbo loan, they can send that client to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Right? That's the point.
Well,
Right?
it's a great example. During the pandemic, there are two of my friends are in the same industry for competing banks, and they couldn't do certain things.
Mhm.
They called me because they
Mhm.
trust me,
Mhm.
and they wanted their clients to work with me because they did not want them to go to other banks who won't
Mhm.
name.
I mean,
Yeah.
right here in this room, we have two insurance guys. One that
Yeah.
also does financial planning and providing
But they both do a lot of the same stuff.
a lot of the same stuff, right? So, like,
I have a business that's just like Jeff's business, and I have another business that's completely different. Yeah.
correct, right? But they're right there in this room. We have this
Mm-hmm.
competition, and there's
That's great.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a great
It's more. I
example
see
that
like
you're
these
talking
type of relationships can be beneficial too, because
Totally.
like again, like if a client calls me and I absolutely can't do something, why wouldn't I refer it to Jeff?
you
Right.
because of your
Right.
relationship with Jeff, you have
2-minute
that,
warning.
that avenue. 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Because I have a lot of. I mean, like every insurance company, they have limitations on risks they're willing to accept.
a window
They have
of,
some-
a
they
window
have a
of risk.
niche.
They want to
They have a
stick in.
niche
Yep.
that they want
Yep.
to say, we're here, but this, maybe it's completely out of bounds. It might not be out of bounds for me, but it might be right up Rock's alley.
Right, and you get a
Give me a
client.
last thing. I know it's your show and
Yeah.
both your shows.
I mean,
So what else?
You
we
guys
got?
just sit
2 minute
there being
I
warning?
feel like this is like a good kind of thing to expand on. I mean, this might be a whole show in itself, but just touching base on the fact that you guys are both in insurance, or that you might have other realtors that you know that service a territory that might know that territory better than you, or
Absolutely.
other mortgage programs that you guys might not offer.
Mhm.
It's not just knowing people that are in different industries. It's also knowing people that are in the same industry as you, because we as a bookkeeping service have
Yeah.
outsourced and referred other bookkeeping companies
Absolutely.
to clients that would be a better fit personality wise or business wise
Mhm.
or whatever wise.
And when you can get to that level in your
Yeah.
business, that's when you know you're at a
Yeah.
good spot.
Mhm.
Like when you could
Absolutely.
just stop looking at the other insurance agent as your competition, as just somebody. Maybe if I can help them, they can help me.
I gave Brian a referral yesterday. It's a Florida deal. Brian, I know you don't fly to Florida to show people homes. I want you to pick an awesome KW real estate agent in Florida to refer my client. I told her you were going to find her a rock star, and I gave that to him so he can find that person. It'll be very difficult for me to do, but Brian still benefits from that. In a lot of ways.
He actually benefits. Right.
And he's going to go give business to somebody else. I give Rand, it's in Florida. I get it. He's not flying back and forth to show properties. But that's the way I thought of it. I went to that extent. It's not, who am I going to find in Florida? No, call Brian. You can refer it out.
All right,
he's a
the last
resource for you.
45 seconds. I guess
Or
everybody
10
gives like
seconds.
their last.
Your spiel and how people can get a hold of you. Yeah.
My spiel, my 60 second. I don't have
Not
time.
the whole
Mike
No.
Campbell, Cross Country Mortgage out of Crystal Lake. Michael.Campbell, like the soup, at myccmortgage.com. Office number 815-455-5558.
Okay, go ahead.
Love that.
Rocco Martinelli Financial Services. I believe in education and clarity. I think a big problem with financial advisors is they usually stick to a niche and they don't help somebody understand their entire picture. That's where I live. Call me.
Brian
How?
Maloney, Keller Success
Wait,
Realty.
wait,
I'm sorry,
let-
847-469-0065.
Thank you.
Brian Maloney, Keller Success Realty. Email me bmall@kw.com.
Jeff Bryant at Church Insurance Agency, Jeff Bryant at churchinsagency.com, and my personal cell, 847-361-2403.
Blow it up.
Blow it up.
Blow
Blow it up.
Blow it up.
Singapore,
Steph
get on.
Conley at Steph's Bookkeeping Service, Steph at stephsbooks.com, 847-942-3004.
Joe
Also
Turner.
her cell phone. Blow
Yeah.
it up.
Oh,
Cell phone.
blow it up. Joe Turner, Restoration One, 847-264-4664. Any water, fire, smoke, mold, dead bodies, gross stuff, you name it, poop, we like it. 24/7. Thank you.
And this is
That
the
is-
team. This
This
is
is
the
it.
team.
This is it. You guys need anything? This was a great team.
Cheers.
There you go. For all of
thank
us here
you.
at 21.6 The Net, thanks for getting caught in the net. Stick around because at 5, it's two bald guys and Mike. And then at 8 o'clock, new episode with the Dream Home Experts. So tune in and have a great weekend, folks. We appreciate you.